Welcome to Coinomi X Space. Today we're excited to bring you a special AMA with our second Coinomi Connect, diving deep into crypto. This conversation was recorded live on X Spaces on April 30th, 2025. Please note that the views and opinions expressed in this AMA are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the official stance of Coinomi Wallet. This content is for informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. We encourage you to conduct your own research before making any decisions. If you enjoy this content, don't forget to subscribe and like the video to support our channel. Now, let's get started. Enjoy.
GM, how is everybody today? We're just getting everything settled, getting everything together, a couple of minutes, and we will be starting. Hope you're all having a great day today. It is a pretty nice, pretty sunny Wednesday where I am. There was a little bit of rain this morning, but I'm feeling good today. Hope you all are as well. We got a lot of cool stuff to go over right now, so we're going to be doing a pretty fun AMA. You guys can put any questions that you got in this one. Sorry, just one second. There we go. Okay. You can put anything that you got for questions in the comment section. We're going to go over a couple of things first, and then we'll answer any questions anybody has. We've got our wonderful, wonderful team member, Koby. He should be coming up in a minute. Who do we got here? We got Miss L, Barbs, Diego, and Varden. Hello. Hope you guys are all having a great, great day. I know I am. Okay, Koby, you are up here. How you doing today?
Hey, Mikey, can you hear me all right?
I can hear you perfectly. How's your day going?
Excellent.
How's your Wednesday?
It is going pretty well. I think we're pretty geographically close, so I'm getting some of the same beautiful weather here up in the Northeast and really
Yep.
enjoying having the windows open as I clean and suffer through my allergies.
Yeah, yeah. No, I thankfully didn't get hit with the allergy stick, but my partner did, and I don't wish it on my worst enemy. I hope that you're doing all right over there.
Yeah, there's something crazy, something in the air for sure, and I think I've got the worst of it this year. But just another reason to stay and do some trading, do some work, catch up on some business development, and keep things moving. What else can you do?
Exactly. I hear you, Barbs. I'm happy that you're here. Thank you for being here. So we're gonna start in just a minute. I just want to give people the opportunity to come on in if they would like. Like I said, we're going to be doing an AMA at the end of this, but we do have some stuff that we're going to go over. We're going over the weekly recap that we had. We put out a 60-second weekly recap. We're going to go over that together, and then we're going to kind of talk about what's going on in the Coinomi space, what's happening, what we're doing to move forward and make the wallet the best that it could possibly be. So yeah, we'll start in probably about 30 seconds. Let's start with this. Koby, why don't you give a little bit about yourself and Coinomi, give a little introduction real quick.
Absolutely. Coinomi is one of the best multi-coin wallets out there because we got started in 2013, 14, when our founder launched a new type of wallet where you could store dozens of coins together. I guess back then it was just a few. And since then, we've grown to at times supporting over 100 blockchains, thousands and thousands of tokens. And I started with the team back in 2014 as a user and 2016 as a member, just helping doing some business development. And now we lead things and kind of run the revamp and reignition that's been taking place over the last year or two, or last year at Coinomi. So really excited to revamp and reignite this rocket.
That's awesome. What a good response. Thank you for that, Koby. Yeah, no, Coinomi has been doing a lot of moves recently. I'm excited towards the end of this to kind of talk about what's going on. We got a lot of updates to go through, but let's kick it off. Let's go ahead. So hello everybody. For those who are just joining us, thank you for being here. This is the Coinomi Connect. It is an AMA where we break down a couple of things, go over some highlights, some updates, and then let you guys ask any questions you have, and we will answer them. So first thing that we're going to be doing here is the weekly recap overview. Quite a bit has happened this month. I know I say weekly recap, but we kind of go week by week, and a lot has happened this month, so I kind of want to go over it. Koby's here. He is the resident expert on all things blockchain, so I'm happy to have him here. Let's go through the first thing. So we're going to talk about what's called the tariff effect. We've given it a pretty cool spin. So Donald Trump on April 2nd put in a tariff that sent the crypto market spiraling downward. It wiped out 350 billion in value, and Bitcoin and Ethereum both dropped around 7%. Now, Koby, a lot has happened since then. Bitcoin has definitely been bouncing back, but I'm curious what your thoughts are on it and what you think it might mean for the next, let's say, 3 months.
Absolutely. It seems the only adult in the room when it comes to policy is going to essentially be the 10-year bond and the prices of stocks that Trump supporters own and the people that walk into his office complain about. I wouldn't expect to see any less jittery markets this week, especially in crypto, which is always so reactionary to what's happening in traditional finance. Watching gold soar has been pretty interesting, as people have said, well, why isn't Bitcoin doing the same if it's going to be a hedge and reserve against inflation? A little bit later from those critiques, we started seeing Bitcoin coming up as well, with some more news related to Trump's own interest in cryptocurrencies and his World Liberty coin. So I think this is kind of general market volatility that's usually factored in. Just the tariffs are sending everything into a bit of a tailspin. But I hope we'll see some kind of resolution soon, since I don't think Trump politically can do this for too long.
Yeah, I agree with that. He definitely needs to kind of worry about himself right now with so many things that have been changed and decided and put into place. He's kind of stretched in a lot of ways right now, and he needs to figure out where he's gonna focus on and figure out what he's gonna do for the us. But
Essentially
I
take an
do want
off
to.
ramp. It seems like there'll be some off
Yeah,
ramp in the next few weeks of easing tariffs or tensions and just giving the
yeah,
markets some relief. But so far, it's still the Wild West. And what I've said over the past few years, and I have to get a clip compilation of me saying it, is that the traditional financial market has started looking a lot more like crypto. Besides its 24/7 effect of the past 25 years, um, we're just living in a much more reactionary, less 10-year horizon
yeah.
picture. And so I think this is just another example of crypto markets kind of leading the way, and traditional finance looking more and more like crypto, which is reactionary, volatile in the now and present. So, it's something that I think crypto um, people and members are a bit more familiar with than traditional financiers.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Before we go on to the next thing, I just want to say, Scout, Blaze, Greg, thank you for stopping by. I hope you guys are enjoying. If you have any questions for Koinami, go ahead and write them in the comments. We'll be answering them at the end. Let's go into the next thing. So a week after the tariff from Trump, which happened on April 2nd, so somewhere in the April 10th range, Trump's tariff put a pause, right? And it sent the market bouncing back. We talked a little bit about, how this kind of affected us and what we feel like is going to happen in the next few months. But we saw Bitcoin climb above 82. Right now it's at 94 and change. Um, Ethereum, Solana, others came up as well. So do now that we have this pause in place, I kind of want to talk just a little bit about this. Do you feel like he's going to unpause it, or do you feel like he's going to kind of keep it because it's just doing better overall for the market?
Do you mean keep the tariffs?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
No,
This
the tariffs are
specific
going to
one
have
that
to
we're
go.
talking
He's
about.
going to back down. My official prediction has always been he's going to have to back down just because of political pressure. Best and the others have no other ones to wish for. So I think we'll see tariffs reversed and market damage that's permanent and already set in for the next probably 2 to 4 years, just because of how quickly value has been wiped out from traditional and of course crypto. But mostly the
Right.
traditional side, it just makes people much less excited about investing and using any of their capital in ways that, again, aren't in the bond market or something they can stabilize in.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I don't think the tariffs are here to stay. I think the tariffs were his way of kind of like making a point that he wanted to make, and he's gonna start pulling them back. If not pausing them and just keeping them indefinitely paused. I totally agree with that part.
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, yep, just agreed.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So, interestingly enough, going on to the next thing, meme madness here. All of the meme coins went pretty crazy. I didn't even know that a fart coin existed, but Popcat, Pepe, and fart coin all went up quite a bit. I actually wanted to take this time. Do you have any opinion on the meme coins, their inflation, and what's your favorite meme coin? I kind of want to know at this point.
I think Doge will always have a special place in my heart,
That's
just being the
fair. That's
first
fair.
coin I ever got into. But right now at Coinami, we're integrating a few more meme types of coins that have had communities for a very long time. I
Hmm.
love the meme coins that really are central around a community or people who have been in the same Telegram or Discord or back when it was Slack channels in 2016 since then. And that's why we're taking steps to integrate longer term coins like Lucky Coin, which is coming soon to Coinami. And we've
Hmm.
been doing so with a bunch of coins in the background that you'll be seeing soon, from favorites to some lesser known meme coins that are also there available on Solana and more. So definitely have a spot in my heart for meme coins.
Yeah, I agree. Doge has always been my favorite. I tell this story. This is like my favorite crypto story because I've always looked at this the same way that you should look at traditional finances. It doesn't matter how much you lose or win. It matters that you stay net positive at all times, right? That's what we're always trying to do. So that's the way that I always look at it. And with Doge, I bought $100 worth of it in 2017, kind of as a joke, kind of as like maybe this will turn into something. It has a good community kind of thing. And then Elon made that tweet, and that was a very good day for me. So Doge also has an incredibly special place in my heart, just because it's something that I held on to without thinking for 5 years, and then it made me quite a decent paycheck. So I that was really cool. So I totally have that in my heart as well. All right, so let's go on to the next thing. So we've got the Department of Justice, the DOJ. So for those who don't know, DOJ is Department of Justice, and it's disbanding its national cryptocurrency enforcement team. So we're going away from targeting platforms, right? So targeting, the wallets and things like that, Coinomi, Coinbase, etc. And we're going to be going after bad individuals using crypto for crime. So people that are on the black market. Silk Road just recently got the person who made Silk Road just recently got out of prison, and so these things are all like coming back, and there's a lot of avenues that are happening already, and so they're focusing more on these individuals that are kind of like crime kingpins for crypto. So I'm curious, just kind of what you how you feel about that. I mean, it does kind of affect us in a way because now there's not so much of a microscope in general on the companies and the corporations that are building this. But at the same time, there needs to be regulation everywhere, in my opinion. So, some regulation. I'm not saying like, we should be decentralized, but there shouldn't just be like, you could do whatever you'd like. You know what I mean?
Our job is always at Coinomi to give users the most control that we can give them when it's with their
100%.
assets, when it's with their tokens, their coins, their digital identity. And so I think it's very good that we're able to set a few precedents now in the crypto community and the digital finance community of how we can protect users if there's not going to be top-down regulation that's you know similar to what they've done in the UK or in the
Hmm.
EU. So I think it makes it a bit more challenging since we might see changes to the regulation style in the next 3 years, 4 years, next election cycle, even the one after that. But it does open the door, like you said, to more building, to less regulation and oversight. And if we do our
Yep.
jobs right, we can have less regulation and oversight and keep users safe in the wallet that they love to use. So that's our goal, no matter who's the regulating agency.
That's awesome. Yeah, and that's a great take. It's important to keep people safe and secure at all times, and Koinami has obviously done that for, since its conception. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that going after these bad actors and trying to look into that section, it's not necessarily a bad thing, especially if they're doing something like dealing drugs. But at the same time, that's kind of the idea of crypto in general, is like we should have the ability to not be consistently regulated at all times, and having um a chance not to be regulated at the top like that is probably a good thing in the end.
I think it's similar to what we saw with OpenAI and DeepSeek, or at least the market chill it inspired in
Yeah.
stocks like Nvidia and other component manufacturers. That when you regulate by pushing a technology down, people are just going to get more crafty. They're going to find different
Right.
solutions to get away those regulations. So I think the government and regulation agencies have to get as smart as crypto users, have to get as agile with their regulation and their development. They
Yep.
need some good work with chain analysis and others on how to lock down criminals and how to enable people to move their money. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, I believe that government's function is not only to protect people, but of course to protect your rights. And I think the freedom of
Yes.
transferring assets, transferring information, those are all inherent rights that we have. I think
Yep.
government's job is not only to protect them, but also to promote them with new technologies and not stall by pushing anything new down. So I think we'll definitely, under this administration, see a form of that. Although I don't know if it comes with the same intention and message, but I'm hopeful that that's what will emerge out of the chaotic regulatory landscape. Let's say, with a courteous nod to the DOJ.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a quote that came from a movie called Big Brother is Watching, and to be honest, Big Brother should not always be watching. I agree with that. Okay, so Paul Atkins, this is the new SEC chair. Okay, he won with a 52-44 vote on April 9th, so around the April 10th, about a week after the Trump tariff shock. So he's known for a lighter regulatory touch. His appointment could be really good for the crypto friendly era. He's known for just not being as strict about things and letting things kind of be more fluid. So that's a really cool thing. What do you think about that, Kobe? If
Yeah, I think
anything.
it's definitely a new direction for the SEC. I think they were pressured by at least 100 huge names in crypto and
Yeah.
probably hundreds more of secret billionaires in the background to do this. We just really have to see who they're going to come after and what they're going to target. Obviously, they've already stopped pursuing Ripple and a few other even scam coins or CEOs of scam coins. So we're going to have a large wave now of both people getting away with crimes in the past and a lot of people committing crimes that might not be prosecuted in the future. When you have the president launching his own meme coin, we really have no idea who they're going to come after and for what, when one of your court defenses might say, but the president did it. So it's going to be a pretty interesting landscape over the next few years of what people launch. I mean, the SEC has allowed Ripple futures recently, I think with an effective launch date of today. So this will be the first Ripple ETF. I think they have ETF spot Ripple decisions delayed. Um, Now, I know that yesterday there were a few people charged for running a big Ponzi scheme with something not so crypto. So maybe they'll be taking their eyes back onto Barclays and Nova Labs and all the other big bankers. But we'll
Mhm.
just have to wait and see. This is one of those things that you grow older with as the story unfolds.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always important to stay informed and stay prepared. It could be that not a lot changes for the everyday crypto investor. It could be that there's a lot of things that you just need to be aware of. Of course, as we hear wind of it, we'll bring it over here to our Coinomi Connect. So don't worry about that. You guys can always stay informed with us. But yeah, absolutely. There's a lot going on in crypto, and this is like I said, this everything that we're kind of talking about is a couple weeks old now. So there's a lot that's changing, and it's changing every single day, and it's not about the craziness of, like, with NFTs, for example. When they first came out, it was always the news was about the next big NFT and Snoop Dogg being in NFTs and this, that, and the third. And now it's really about, like, how can we keep our rights, and how can we keep things going the way that we've always had it, in a safe and secure way. And so, it's definitely, if you wanted to pick a time to pay attention, it's right now.
Absolutely. And here we are.
Yep. Yep. Okay. So that's everything that we've got just for the recap and going through things. We'll have more next time, of course. But I do want to break in. So I know that Koinami we're doing a lot right now. We've got a lot of updates. So I just kind of wanted to pass the floor over to you. Let everybody know kind of what's going on, what can they expect for the future from the Koinami wallet, and anything else you want to add.
Absolutely. I mean, we have a lot of updates coming out on the UI UX front. Everyone knows we've been planning a big UI UX version 2 that's going to make it much simpler to use your Coinami wallet while keeping all the gestures and features that you like at your fingertips. With those gestures and with those features in wallet, you're also going to be using a bunch more EVM coins that are coming into the wallet as soon as hopefully the end of or as soon as hopefully the end of the middle of next month. So we're really excited to introduce a whole nother class of coins next to Solana, next to Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the coins you already love and use, and their tokens, NFTs, collectibles, and more. We have our QA devs working very hard to push a lot of bug squashing out, a lot of bug killing this past few weeks as we pursue a very clean app where you never have to wait for your connections to load. And we also have a lot coming on the marketing and community engagement front. I know Mikey's been hard at work with Michelle and Barb's and other members of the team to get more engagement coming out of the community. And we do that by interacting with you, by giving things away, by merging with other tokens. And it's really exciting. I mean, we're really starting to rev up the marketing and community background engine. And I think that's going to power a lot of the summer excitement that you'll be seeing in Koinami. We had a really fun Medium article that I worked on maybe in 2018 that I might be able to pull up, where we kind of discuss what was coming next in terms of Monero, in terms of, or I guess we hinted at Monero and NEM with some crafty tips and riddles. And right now we're doing kind of a similar thing that soon we'll be alluding to, much that we're launching this month. So keep your eyes out in the App Store and your automatic updates on. Plug your phone in when you go to bed because you might wake up with a shiny new Coinami app in your hands.
That's awesome. There's so much going on, and I know that there's a lot more that we can't quite talk about yet. So I hope the community is stoked for everything that's going on. I also wanted to mention we have quite a few new people coming in. Thank you for being here. I'm going to try to name you all. Hoper, thank you. I can't see this name. Dominic. Dominic, thank you so much for being here today. You are awesome. Lucky, Tempest, C17, Snow, else that I just want to let you guys know that you are amazing. I appreciate you all for being here. You are the heart and soul of the Koinami community, and just understand that we love you. Going on to the next part of our segment here. So anybody who's here right now, if you have any questions at all for Koinami, just go ahead and reply to the main space. You should see a little comment button in the bottom right while you're listening here. You can go ahead and type whatever you'd like. We will answer it. We are good at rapid fire, so don't worry about that. Just send as many as you'd like. We the last one that we did a couple weeks ago, we had one person send 10 questions, and we got through all of them as far as I remember. So go ahead and send whatever questions you have for Konami, and we'll go through them. But right now, I do have a few questions that I wanted to ask Koby because I like keeping him on his toes. All right, so first off, how does Koinami keep ahead of the game compared to our competitors?
I think that one of the things that sets Koinami aside is the really decorated team, not only giving accolade to myself for being chronically online for far too long, but all of our developers, just as well as our marketing team community, they've all been in crypto for a very long time. And so they know how to filter out the noise. When you can filter out the noise, looking at the news is much simpler and not the same incoming that you'll see from a lot of other places. Instead of a 7 hour live stream going through all the crypto news, as you just heard, we go through exactly what we think is important and relevant in the news, in developments, in things we get sent to us from our partners and new upcoming partners to the app. So I think that's exactly how we stay ahead of the game by having such a decorated team. Who's just been doing it for so long. In other terms, though, we definitely have our news alerts out there for what's coming next, our own ideas of where DPIN and RWA is going, and that certainly informs the updates that we plan on. Right now, as we patch up Koinami, we're still filling in little leaks in the ship right now. And so I think it's pretty clear the direction path we have to go with UI, with coins, with updates that we're working really hard on to push out. But after that, we'll have a bit more direction in the new assets we implement, the new tokens, the new exchanges, and features we bring you. So that'll all be coming very soon.
Awesome response. Awesome. Yeah, no, Koinami is doing a lot in the background. I know that I've said it a bunch. I try not to repeat myself, but I talk and talk and talk, and repeating happens. But we're doing a whole lot in the background, and I can't wait to show you guys what's coming up. And we definitely keep things ahead of the game. And just like what we just did, right, with the recap, we only look at things that are relevant, that are important to you. And that's kind of cool too. And I'm hoping that maybe we can kind of keep you guys updated every time we do one of our Koinami Connects at what's going on in the world, just so that you have a place that you can come and get that unbiased information and make your own best decisions. The next one is kind of a fun question. So Bitcoin is at 94 right now, and it's been going up and down. It was pretty stable, and then it kind of dropped down, maybe I don't know, 12 hours ago or so. And then we're at 94. So I'm wondering, do you believe, just with the state of everything that's going on, do you believe that Bitcoin is going to go over 100 K USD in the next, let's say, 60 days? And do you think it'll stabilize there? Because like I said, the previous, I mean, we've seen it stabilized, over let's see, over a month now. We've seen it above like 92, right? And it's stayed above 92. So 100K I feel like is really possible, but I just kind of wanted to get your opinion on what you think is going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think we will see anything stable, especially with Trump's action in the markets. I think just a few hours ago he was tweeting about how this Joe Biden economy has been totally tanking, and a few days ago he was celebrating about how the Trump economy is soaring. So until he figures out whose economy this is and which of his advisors he's going to take direction from, until we see something solidifying in traditional finance, we won't see it in Bitcoin. If a few titans of industries did come out, or some big corporations, or maybe even a voice like Elon Musk with so much power and sway, said, "Hey guys, I'm putting 3% of the entire cash treasury in my company into Bitcoin. We see it fully as a gold inflation hedge." I mean, now we're talking. That could make some action, but I don't think any type of
Right.
CEO or prominent figure is going to send something that could send their own stock or market into a spiral, just because it's just it's too risky at this point. I know that
Yeah.
Elon can be quite sporadic and here and there, but not every CEO and public company can afford such a luxury. So until we see
True.
something like that, I don't imagine we'll see any stabilization.
That's true. That's a good answer. Yeah, and I mean, Elon woke up one day and decided to buy Twitter. So, definitely a unique individual. It always also makes me wonder. I mean, billionaires like that, they are consistently doing controlled risk, which is something important, I feel like, in just finance in general, where they're willing to lose some money because they think that it'll make money eventually, but they're not willing to invest. If they have $150 billion in value, right, in net value, liquid assets that they can sell, they're not willing to take 50 billion of that and invest it directly into one thing, because even though that's more money than anybody will ever be able to spend in 100 generations if they did nothing but spend, that's still like that's their number, and I feel like that's a mindset that a lot of people in that space have, where it's like this number needs to grow and needs to become bigger at all times, so they constantly make these controlled risks. And I just don't think that, while Bitcoin has been around for so long and shown so much potential, I just don't think that somebody is really willing to take like billions, multiple billions, and just drop it into Bitcoin and then make that announcement. I don't think that we're there yet.
Yeah, I think you echo my concerns, and I just think, yeah, you've said it beautifully.
Absolutely. All right, so let's go through here. I do have one curveball question that I personally have. It's again just about a general coin. I wanted to make sure we didn't get any questions in before I do, because I want to answer, any questions that anybody else sends. So again, you guys can post any questions you have, and we will answer them. Any questions at all, you just post it as a reply to this spaces, and I will ask them real time, and we'll answer it real time. So my next question, though, is actually about Ripple. How do you feel about Ripple right now? Because they're making moves left, right, and center, and they have been for quite a while. But recently, they've been doing quite a bit. I wanted to get your opinion on it. It's my personal favorite main coin.
I might have to get the opinion of someone better educated than I about Ripple. The facts about Ripple right now. Sorry, let me.
Oh, no problem at
Sorry
all.
about that. Our Some of our team has been in Ripple since early days and has done some good flippinings and Ripple trades that have definitely marked their own success. Right now, I think Ripple's a really interesting contender for one of the top 5 spots still to stay over the next 2-3 years. I mean, it's around, I think, 2.24 right now. And while it's a little bit down, I think over the past year, we're a few 100% up. I think it's number 4 in cap as well. So if we're going to have the SEC appeal drop out, and we're going to have the motion to pause by Ripple and the SEC filing to pause all the appeals for a settlement, I think there's a really good chance of things settling like the Oregon AG case and the ETFs that will really pump Ripple past its utility only as a remittance coin. I think that's where they have to focus next, is what is their actual focus in growing the use case and business point of it. And that's kind of their difficult thing to do right now, as they partner with Revolut and acquire different companies like, or I guess another partnership with Chipper Cash and Thorchain. So they're definitely moving things forward, but will it move the bar? And that's what we're going to have to see over the next few months and years.
Oh, I am talking with my mic off. Sorry, everybody. How y'all doing? GM, I haven't had my coffee yet. I was just saying that was an awesome answer. I agree with you on several fronts. I have been a Ripple supporter since the early days, since before, everything happened with the SEC and they beat that. So I'm just somebody that I believe that Ripple is going to continue to grow. I don't believe that it will ever grow to a point of like $100 a coin, because I just, with the what it has going for it, it's just not possible. Somebody would have to put like trillions into it to make that happen. But I do believe that it's one of those things that if you invest in, it's going to continue to go up for you. So if you're looking for something, that's just my opinion. Of course, don't please make your own smart decisions. But yeah, I've been very in love with Ripple for a long time. So let's see here. Let's see if we got any questions coming through. Okay. Are we going this year to Token 2049 in Singapore? Koby, you are muted, buddy.
Oh man, there we go. Okay, my bad this time. I
No,
think
all
that we'll
good.
be definitely committing right now that we'll see our fans and partners in consensus in Toronto. This will maybe be my 5th or 6th. I've got to start counting. It was my first conference back in either 2018 or 17, I guess 2018. And I'm super excited to be back on the ground. This will be my first time in Toronto, where we've had some really great friends for a while, and some of the team. And I'll be back there the next month for an incredibly special time that will be awesome. And so, yeah, I'm really excited to meet people on the ground in Toronto with some of our team, like our great marketing officer, Chief Michelle, and others. So we're really excited to hit there. We may be in Singapore. You'll still have to keep on for the alpha when we get those plane tickets locked.
Awesome. Well, I hope you have a good time up there. It should be pretty cool. And I'm glad that you guys are gonna have a lot of fun and hang out with the partners. Let's see. I don't believe we have any other questions coming through. So I guess at this point we can kind of bring up, Kobe, is there anything that you want to go over? I feel like we went over quite a bit, but if there's anything, any topic that you want to talk about or anything that you want to add in before we move on to final notes, let me know.
Well, it's a great time for me to make my final and very frequent appeal for everyone to go and leave a five-star app review in the
Yes,
Google
absolutely.
App Store or your Apple App Store. It massively helps us right now. Or if you have an old review about how we didn't have connections for the coins, I promise we fixed it or it's shipping in the next update. And please revise your reviews. We're always trying to move these up so we can contend with some of the big players that have millions and millions to spend on marketing. Koinami started pretty community and open source, which is definitely where we're headed back. And we appreciate the support everyone can give without investing a dime in any coin just by leaving a positive review. So thank you so much if you've left one already. Check the app store that they've accepted it and haven't bounced it out. But you really can make a huge difference as a community member as to how fast we ship updates and new features, new tools for the wallet that you've loved for the past 10, 11 years when you leave a review. So please tell your friends and family, leave a 5 star, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Awesome. Well, I hope everybody. Oh, we got a couple of more questions. Let's see here. Or we got a couple more comments. I just want to make sure that we are good. Looks like we do have a question here that I want to go over, but yeah, thank you for that. Let's go over this next question. Let's see. How are Bitcoin's Lightning Network upgrades shaping its scalability? Can it compete with the traditional payment systems like Visa or PayPal? What's your opinion on that?
Can Bitcoin itself compete with Visa or PayPal? No, I don't believe that's what Bitcoin was intended to do or what it needs to do right now. But I think that it can certainly provide remittance and just functionality that is much past the use cases of gold. And there are many networks like Ripple and others who are building to compete with Visa and other huge networks. I think that a lot of people over the
Yeah.
past few years have found it that it's just pretty impossible to compete with those companies with that huge scale. So I think that we'll see incremental decentralization from those organizations themselves reaching out to be a bit more global through technologies like blockchain that make it easier for them to do financial remittance and consensus. And we'll also see some better technologies deployed into apps and games that everyone's using in the background, which are going to be a bit more easy for payment providers and merchants to plug into. So I think the bridge is starting to reach out more from the Web3 side into traditional finance and vice versa. It's just going to take
Yeah.
some time, some good UX, UI, and some magic on top of marketing and getting products into users' hands.
Yeah. I completely agree with that.
Oh, you know what? I
It's
think the
But
question was also specifically about the Lightning Network. So I think that the Lightning Network I really haven't seen compete with traditional payment systems in the past 5, 6. I mean, it's almost around now for 10 years. While providers have tried to integrate it in a non-custodial way, it just doesn't really work yet. Explain to users what the difference is of funding an account. But we're always looking to see if there's really easy ways we can build that into the wallet and expand the functionality of the Lightning Network, since it is something we want users to take advantage of.
yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree with what you said. Both times, but especially in the beginning, it's really important to kind of mention that cryptocurrencies existed for less than 20 years, right? And it's competing to integrate into a space that's been dominated by physical money for tens of thousands of years. And then if we just talk about our current society, hundreds of years. So banks have dealt with money, just physical, you could touch it kind of thing. And then when we moved into using credit that could represent physical money, that took a little bit. And it was a little easier to implement it because the large corporations all got together and decided this is something that we can use, regulate, and work with. So it really comes down to getting the big companies to really fully adopt it. And if those 5 or 6 big companies said all collectively like, "Yep, this is what we want," Bitcoin would be payment tomorrow. But it's really getting to that point, and until we get to that point where they feel like it's worth it, I don't believe it could compete with PayPal or otherwise.
Yep,
um
exactly.
yeah. So any timeline to add script coins that rely on proof of work like Lucky Coin that serve as base to Dogecoin? How important
Absolutely.
is proof of work?
So proof of work is where it's at for us. It's where we started, and we're definitely going to be introducing Lucky Coin to the wallet very soon. I know that a lot of wallets are out talking to buy 2049 in different panels they've paid a lot of money into, but we're still working really hard to integrate more and more coins that you just won't find in other wallets, but we're really excited to support in Coinomi. So those will be coming soon, and I'm really looking forward to having their communities join Coinomis and be a family. I mean, it's funny. I hear a lot of people in business, and I've fallen into this mistake too of saying the company is a family, or the community is a family, or something
Hmm.
where employees and people kind of nod their heads and like, "Yep, sure, I'm gonna go home and turn off Slack." But when it comes to adding a coin into the wallet and then having that community rely on Coinomi as a place to store and keep their funds, I mean, there's no, transactional part of that really anymore. We don't charge for it. We do it for free off the bat when a community approaches us. So we kind of make a handshake deal of we're going to make a great wallet for you. If we do so, your users are going to come in and trust us and use the product and leave good reviews and help us get back on our feet. And if not, then we're just not able to do our jobs yet. But thankfully, with integrations like Pepe Coin and other UXTO coins, I think we've started to really prove that and start getting some really cool blockchain integrations.
Yeah, for sure. Simple and straightforward. That's exactly what everybody wants and what people need. It's important to gain those individual communities' trust because when you're running a wallet, you're dealing with every coin's community at that point. And so it's really important to make that seamless, secure, safe, all the S's. So yeah, totally agree.
Absolutely. I wanted to mention a few more updates that people are going to see, especially with our
Yeah.
website right now. We have changes that are coming in that give you full language control, as you see on the website right now, with I think it looks like over 10 different languages. We're doing hyperlocalization, which means better dialects, better translations coming directly to you. And we're doing a bunch of UI UX improvements on the store and the website where you can currently buy your merch for Koinami. So go check out some of the merchandise. And we'll be really excited once you see some of those new screens come up on the App Store and the website.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, everybody, go check that out. I also just want to take one more 30-second really quick. Please, if you haven't already, and you're obviously here because you love Coinami. That's what I believe. And you're using our app and being awesome. So please go leave a 5-star review. Let us know your opinion of it. That's really important to us is that everybody who's using it, who loves the product, comes on in, just leave us a review. We really appreciate it. It helps us out a lot. And I just wanted to add that in there. Koby, do you have any last notes before we end the live?
I think we said it all. We made sure to badger people
Yeah.
to leave a review, to download, to share with their friends and family. We're always trying to bring you more ways to use your crypto and get the most out of it in your Koinami wallet. We do realize and apologize for the slower developments over the past year as we've got back on our feet, but we're so excited to be reunited as a team that has roots and ties going back over a decade, I guess a decade and a few years now. And we really are excited for the next decade of Koinami and what we have in store. So thank you all for listening. We'll definitely be back very soon with another Koinami Connect. And for now, Kobe signing off from the team.
Yeah. Awesome. Mikey, Kieran, same thing. You guys all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. If you need anything, just message us and we'll reply to you. You have a great day, everybody, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
That concludes another AMA. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you found the discussion insightful and informative. Don't forget to follow us on social media and subscribe to stay up to date with the latest news and updates.